Assalamu alaikum, namaste, and welcome everybody to the News Hour with your favorite host and those Jennifer Rogers. And if you are new to our channel, do not forget to share this video with all your friends and family so they are aware about all the things happening in Qatar and all around the world. And with that, we are also available on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, where we post a lot of interesting content and it's just for you. Do not forget to do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is also called Qatar Day, and do not forget to check out our other channel, which is called qatarday.com. And with that, let me start with the first update of the day, which is decision to ban camel grazing on plantations, positive and negative impacts. So the Ministry of Municipality and Environment, represented by the permanent team dedicated for studying the impact of decision to ban camel grazing, continues its field study for a second consecutive year. With the participation from a number of departments of the ministry, the team has completed studying the impact of decision in 10 manors in the state that are included in the study and supervised by the Environmental Protection Reserve and Wildlife Development. The team continues to study positive and negative impacts of the decision to ban camel grazing. It consists of specialized It consists of the specializations from all areas related to study. This study also includes a part dedicated to creating a database of geographic information system for the study sites. The team will work to develop a special database for the studied manures. Now, it should be mentioned that the decision to ban grazing has been contributed to regaining natural growth of some places in Qatari lands. Now, preventing camels from grazing has reduced excessive pressure on the manures, as the camels have almost insanitably forged and barked, now which may lead to the death of the trees. It's noted that wild trees such as gum trees, that's called the Christ-thorn jujube, have been greatly regenerated during the recent years after the decision to ban the camel grazing, reducing its negative impact on foliage. Now with this, let me get to the second update of the day, which is Australia is satisfied with Qatar's measures to address Hamad International Airport incident. So His Excellency Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdul Rahman Al Thani, Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the State of Qatar, and the Honorable Senator of Foreign Affairs and the Minister of Women of Commonwealth of Australia held a telephonic call on the 30th of October 2020 to discuss the Hamad International Airport Doha incident. His Excellency Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister of Foreign Affairs expressed their deepest sympathies with the women impacted by the search at the airport and renewed the state of Qatar's apology to them, stating that the incident is considered as a violation of Qatar laws and values, and the officials involved have been referred to the public prosecution offices. His Excellency the Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister of Foreign Affairs assured the Australian Minister of Foreign Affairs and Minister of Women of Qatar's commitment to the safety and security of all the passengers traveling through Hamad International Airport. Now with this, let me get to the third update of the day, which is Qatar Gas to automate LNG project with Honeywell Tech. So yes, Qatar Gas, which is a majority owned by Qatar Petroleum, is developing the project. They've said that we're delighted to play a central role in the largest, most ambitious LNG project in the world, remarked Honeywell's Prime Minister for Global Strategic Projects in a written statement emailed to Rigzone. NFC entails development for new megatrains and associated facilities to raise Qatar's total LNG output by 43% from 77 to 110 million ton per annum. The firm stated that the project will apply industrial Internet for Things enable the LEAP, what they call, it's called LEAP. Now I'll just tell you what the whole form of it is. It's Lean Execution of Automation Projects, which incorporates visualization, universal input output, and channel technology and cloud engineering. It added the LEAP project offers more predictable construction cost and makes remote projects engineering possible from anywhere in the world, improving collaboration and limited travel. Now, Honeywell stated that it will implement smart junction boxes, technology for control and safety systems. It explained that the SJB will reduce the number of instrumental cabinets compared to the previous technology, enable faster project executions and lower installation cost. Now, our technologies will also abide with Qatargas in reaching its production targets more efficiently while helping it achieve its safety. I'm just stammering today, I'm so sorry. And security and profitably merits. Now, LNG production from the new mega trains is slated to be in 2025. It's going to begin in 2025, noted Honeywell. So with this, let me get to the international bit of the day, which is 10K foreign pilgrims arrive on the first day of Umrah resumption. So about 10,000 international pilgrims are arriving in Saudi Arabia after a 7-month to perform the Umrah and visit the Prophet's mosque on the first day of the third stage of the resumption of Umrah. According to the Deputy Minister of Hajj, the 10,000 pilgrims arriving from abroad must first obtain a permit. Upon arrival, pilgrims must isolate for 3 days before being transported to the Mecca site. Principal boundaries at which the pilgrim intend to perform Umrah must change into the Ihrams. Now they can stay in the kingdom for up to 10 days, 3 of which are in isolation. As per protocol, 500 groups of international pilgrims are dispersed throughout the day, each with 20 pilgrims. The maximum age limit of the international pilgrims is set as 50. The maximum age limit, the 50, only people who are until 50 years can travel. That's what they're saying. The Deputy Minister also added that the countries are subjected to continuous evaluation by Saudi Center of Disease Prevention and Control at the Ministry of Health as a part of the government's approved standards and protocols. Visa for pilgrims arriving from countries that are seeing a noticeable increase in numbers will be placed on hold until any further assessment. Now with this, I'm done with all the updates for today. Thank you so much for logging on to Qatar Day. Keep loving, keep supporting, keep watching Qatar Day, the pulse of the nation. Me, your host and host, Jennifer Rogers, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place. Until then, remember to look after yourself. It's very, very important you stay healthy and you stay safe. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.